Hey guys, it's Clarity. Today I'm sharing my experience of how I managed to just completely quit smoking and without any help. So just as a preface, this was before I went to school for hypnotherapy, but what I was doing was absolutely hypnosis. I just didn't know it yet. It kind of started from a history of meditation and a cockiness that I can do whatever I want. I'm the master of my own mind. And you are the master of your own mind. So I'm just here to teach you how to really master your own mind. So the strategy for this took months. It is more effective to get help doing this, whether that is through a hypnotherapist or just other methods that are proven to work. I started smoking and vaping at the age of 16, and I didn't stop until I was 24. And I cannot explain the joy of not even remembering who I was when I was smoking. Every time I see someone digging around for their vape, it's like, oh God, I used to be that person. And I get it, but also I'm happy I'm no longer that person. Or seeing someone who always had to ask other people for their vape. I was generally really broke around this time. The beautiful thing about the method I chose, which is similar to hypnosis, is that I now have an aversion to the idea of vaping. Cigarettes weren't that hard because I had vaping to fall back on, but vaping ended up being way harder to step away from. I could go over more of the science of why it's harder to quit, but the main complication is association. When you smoke, there always has to be some form of ritual aspect unless you're smoking inside and you just always have it on you. With vaping, it's a lot more normalized inside in every room of the house, no matter where you are, in the bathroom, at work, everywhere. So that means you build an association to this stress reduction device wherever you do it, right and left hand. You see, I would do it with my right hand, but then if I'm driving, maybe I would use my left. And having so many connected associations made it harder. All these associations are why this method made it take so long, but this method is one of the coolest things I've done with my brain and my body. So when I was sure I was ready to stop and I found it really difficult to, this is what I did. When I would reach and grab for my vape, I would focus and feel how my muscles would react from my fingers grabbing the vape all the way up my arm, all the way to the left side of my brain, all the way to my brainstem, all the way to all the nerves passing through that area. The goal was to start to visualize the bridge of nerves that led from the monkey motion in my brain being like, hey, I want a vape, all the way down to my hands and arms, which were like, reach for vape and hit vape. So this included feeling the nerves for not just reaching for the vape, but also for putting the vape to my mouth. And then not only that, doing it for the left arm and then doing it while imagining myself in multiple scenarios. In the car, feeling the way those nerves would start firing just being in the car, even without a vape, the way they just want to reach for it. And I began, without judgment, with only awareness, to feel what is getting triggered and when. And then for the next 2 months without vaping, I would just meditate. I would trigger that need for nicotine, and I would just get in tune with what nerves were firing. And at some point, I was able to get a clean visual. It would almost be like a lightning strike from somewhere in my spine all the way through my shoulder, through my arm, and out my finger of get the vape. Get the vape, get the vape, move the vape, do it, smoke it, hit it. And after I was able to get a clean visual of what nerves were firing, I found the way to short circuit the nerves. That's right. I found the bridge of nerves visually, and I would then consciously move the signal rather than, let's say, to my arm, I would move it just down. And when you tell your lower back to reach for and hit a vape, guess what it does? It short circuits. It just doesn't know how to perform the function, so it doesn't. And I would run that signal through multiple times, short circuiting it multiple times, emphasizing, hey, I want to send this signal the wrong way. And after I would train it to send the wrong way, it just would rebuild which way it wanted to go naturally. So I no longer had that association being sent to my arm, but rather just somewhere else entirely. And now this is something I would do every night for around 2 to 3 months. There are just that many associations deep within my mind. And it wasn't every single night, but it was whenever it came up. As soon as I could tend to it, I would tend to it. As soon as I felt that trigger, I would sit with it, feel it, and address it later. And after doing that over and over with all these different scenarios for the right hand and the left, eventually my want for it just kept fading and fading. Less neurons, less associations firing to give me it. And then one night after I finished with my meditations, I woke up the next day and it just wasn't in me anymore. For all I knew, there could have been more associations. I just took out the majority of them where my body genuinely didn't want it. There was no association or trigger that justified reaching for it because everything else in my body was like, ew, no. It's like I removed enough of the reach that my body was able to just take a moment to just not. Not only did this prove to myself that I can fucking rewire my body in a way, visually, consciously, but I haven't wanted to vape since. It's not just that I don't, it's that like there's an active repulsion to it, and I'm realizing that repulsion was already there. The constant need for satiation, the constant reaching for things, I had realized what it was taking from me rather than what it was giving me, and I was just done giving that to it. And that right there is the magic. You have to be ready to stop. But when you're ready to stop, you have the power to stop. Whether it's getting help, that can be hypnotherapy, it can be just normal therapy, it can be just your own strategy. You have the power. You are the master of your own mind. If you're interested, I highly suggest trying this method. Maybe it's not just for vaping, it can be for anything. Building through and out of habits. It just takes breathing through them, tuning into them, feeling what it's reaching for, and then not reaching for it. Letting go, freeing yourself. My life has been so much better since I stopped, and I really hope that this message inspires other people to know that they can stop too. It does take time if you do it on your own. It's actually a lot easier if you have someone help you, but it is doable. The feeling of needing to reach for something 24/7 that you get from vaping is worse than cigarettes are. And they taste good, I guess. Thinking of the taste now makes me feel really sick to my stomach, but I've built the aversion by just doing it too much. So, try this method. Sit down with yourself, do the meditation, connect to those neural signals. After you connect, rewire. And after you rewire, set yourself free. Never forget, you are light, you are love, and you are clarity. Thank you for watching.